We struggled for 4 years with dry strips in this field. It didn't matter if I made sure all the birds were cleaned, put on extra water. I blamed the dirt, I blamed the pumps, I blamed everything. But the truth is, this pivot never had the sprinklers set up right, and the sprinklers we were sold was the wrong sprinkler for the job. And every year at the beginning of the year, everything was great. When we had that spring moisture, it grew, it was awesome. But usually by the end of June or 1st of July, we noticed significant low spots in the hay where it just was not growing. And by the end of the year, those spots wouldn't yield anything. 5 years on, this year when I was cultivating, I just could not stand it. I could see the dry strips in our corn, which we took the hay out last year and made corn, the circular pattern of the dry strips. I knew it had to be something with the sprinklers. Before I got too drastic, I did the same thing I've done in the past. I cleaned all the regulators and all the sprinklers, tried again. I still was not getting water down properly. And finally, I made the call to my friend at Butterworth Irrigation saying, hey, can you please come look at this pivot and can we figure out what's going on? When he arrived and spent a few minutes out in the pivot, he quickly diagnosed the problem, that it was never built properly for the pivot. They just took the number of outlets, gave me sprinklers, and told me to go on with life. And that was completely wrong. And the number 2 problem is they sold me a sprinkler that wasn't the best sprinkler for the job. And so he went to work, and after several days and 3 tries to make sure it was absolutely right, we finally got the biggest pain in the butt pivot set up properly with the right sprinkler package, nozzles, and water distribution for this 3-tower pivot. The other problem we had was we were using these sprinklers here. These are rotators that came out in the 1980s. Basically, a string comes out onto this disc, which has a friction plate in it, and it slowly turns. Couple of problems with these. One, they are really pressure sensitive. And in our situation, our pressures are fluctuating quite a bit, and I need our sprinklers to work in a wide pressure range. This also uses streams instead of droplets, and the streams aspirate more water combined with the high pressure regulators that we were sold. This entire combination together caused the entire sprinkler package to be less efficient on top of not being properly set up. So it exacerbated the problems that we were having. So because all of those factors combined, and because rotators really don't belong in a modern irrigation system anyway, we went with a completely new system. The highest efficiency, most modern irrigation system we can put on this pivot. And to show you that, I gotta gear up. Now that I'm geared up, I can take you and show you our new Komet Precision Twister sprinklers and our Twin Ultra in-gun. So here they are, our Komet Precision Twister sprinklers and KPR-X regulators. Now, these regulators first are the best on the market. They flow better, they are designed to last a lot longer, and there's no doubting that that is definitely the best regulator on the market. And now the Komet Precision Twister sprinkler head. It, for sure, in the industry, has the best uniformity of any sprinkler on the market. On top of that, it has less aspiration. That's the water misting off that you would lose. Now, on our pivot, we actually did something that I usually would be totally against. We put pivot sprinklers on top of the pipe because to get better uniformity, we needed a little bit more elevation to make sure that our overlap was right. This is the Komet Precision Twister Peak. Obviously a little bit different of a deflector plate, but still we have those great regulators and that awesome Komet water pattern. This on this first span allows us to have the most even distribution possible of the water getting down to the plant. Make sure we're putting out the right amount of the water where we need it. Now, it was no miracle. This field did not get saved where the dry strips are, but there is no more dry strips, and these sprinklers are far and away superior to the competition's rain-style sprinklers. And don't just take my word for it. Let's compare them side by side. The first comparison I want to make is in the field. When I'm standing under the pivot inside of the sprinkler path, the Komet feels like a soft, summer rain. It's not pounding the crop. Compared to the competition, over here, it feels like I'm getting pelted with little BBs out of this new competition sprinkler package. It just is a lot more aggressive at the entire sprinkler, and then the drops are way smaller, and a lot of times they impact the crop a lot harder. And honestly, this is not going to be optimal to penetrate the soil properly. And isn't that what we want? We want to mimic nature as close as possible. And if we were wanting to do that, we want that soft summer rain. These sprinklers beat the competition every time. Doesn't matter high pressure, low flow, high flow. These sprinklers are superior to the competition. It's not that the competition is bad, it's just that these are better. Now, admittedly, at first, I was gonna leave the same in-gun on this pivot that it had previous, but after breaking the same part 5 times in 2 years, we had to upgrade and finish out this system with the Twin Max from Komet. Now, this big gun, the Twin Max, is the smallest of the big guns that Komet makes, and it fits perfectly on a smaller pivot and can even fit most quarter-mile pivot applications. Now, it is not just a glorified fireman's cannon. This is specifically designed for irrigation. It is not designed just to shoot a stream out as far as it can. It is designed to shoot a stream and then break that stream into droplets as it hits the ground. Same thing that goes with this goes with the sprinklers. Droplets come out and they hit the ground softer. Less impact on the ground and more like that summer rain that we all love. Look, and it's not that this sprinkler package per se on this lease pivot is bad. It's just not as good as what the Komet is. But you can obviously see how proper setup makes this field look a whole lot better. But the best sprinkler on this whole pivot is that Komet Precision Wave at the end. So after comparing both the Komet to a brand new set of competition sprinklers that we have on a lease farm, it is absolutely clear that the Komet is the superior irrigation pivot sprinkler in the market, and that the Twin Max is the superior in-gun in the market. There is no question. And if you want to argue my point, we can go on the list forever, but check out this clip of these sprinklers together. That is one Komet sprinkler in between 2 of the modern competition sprinklers. And there is no doubt that there's far less aspiration and way more of that water is getting to your crop. If you are truly about water efficiency, regeneration, and soil health, Komet is the only option for pivot irrigation sprinklers, because they are far more efficient than the competition, and they are going to last longer because they are built with higher quality parts and they are built to last much longer. And if you want more information about Komet, just go to their website and check it out. I am not paid and I am not sponsored for this video by them, but literally go check out their website. And I only want to leave you with 2 things. 1, I'm super excited to see what happens here in this pivot next year when we get a full season to run with these sprinklers. And 2, I wonder if I can get a set of Komet sprinklers for this pivot I'm plumbing in right now. God bless, have a wonderful day. We will see you next time on American Beef Ranch.